Larry Panella, Director of Jazz Studies. I kind of got into music accidentally. I'm from a family of 5 kids. I'm the 4th of 5, and I had an older brother who played clarinet for a while, but got busy with sports, and he was a much better athlete than I am. And so at some point he had to put the instrument down, and I know my father was a little disappointed about that because my father loved music. And so I thought this would be a great way to get my father's attention. Busy house with 5 kids. And so I took up the clarinet, not knowing that I would be any good at it or that I would like it. But both were true. And so here I am all these years later. I switched to saxophone in junior high school and haven't looked back. I attended a larger school. I went to the University of North Texas. When I was there, it was North Texas State University. And in a big school like that, the divisions within the school tend to be very compartmentalized. So it's hard to cross-pollinate and explore other interests besides one primary area. And the thing that I like about Southern Miss is the opportunities are here for students to cross-pollinate and do lots of different things besides just their primary major. So Mus Ed majors can participate in the jazz area. Jazz studies students can play in classical ensembles, all sorts of things like that. In this region of the country, jazz studies is not as well developed at the high school level. So a lot of the students that I get are pretty green. And so my goal in the time that I have to work with them is to use the idiom of jazz to teach them to be creative musicians. The jazz genre, as it were, is very diverse, but it's also can be kind of cliquish. And the skills that you learn as a jazz musician are still valuable for many other types of music. And so what my goal is to teach my students to be creative musicians through jazz and to do their own thing, to find their own voice and to explore other possibilities besides just playing straight ahead jazz. When students come and visit and tell me that they're interested in the jazz studies program, the things that I'm looking for are students who, first of all, have already listened to some jazz, or are already sort of exploring the music. And secondly, I'm trying to make sure as much as possible that they have a good ear for music. It's really hard to teach that. It is possible to learn it, but that is really important because when you're dealing with jazz, you're dealing with an aspect of the music that when you read the music, it's not written down. Swing feel is not written down in the jazz band chart, except in the words at the top left of the chart. And so to know how to play that, to know how to articulate that, you have to do some listening. So I'm always looking for students who are already listening and already starting to explore the field. I listen to a lot of different music, partly because of my own kids, who are pretty esoteric in their musical choices. But also, I have an interest in music that tells stories. So I sometimes like folk music, I sometimes like Celtic music, I love Brazilian music. As well as listening to some good old straight ahead jazz. I love organ trio stuff with the Hammond B3. I hope to record a project of my own with Hammond B3. And anything that just has a really romping groove to it. My favorite piece of repertoire to play as a jazz standard is probably the Victor Young tune Stella by Starlight. In a big band setting, Thad Jones' 3-in-1 and Tiptoe are 2 of my favorites. Please, if you want to get in touch, shoot me an email. I love to hear from interested students and help you with any questions that you might have. That's the best way to reach me. My email is lawrence.panella@usm.edu, and it should be in the description below.